Welcome! Today we will crochet a makeup bag. We can use it for makeup and also as a wallet. The bag consists of two parts. It's considered two bags or two wallets together. Let's see how we are going to make it. The yarn we are going to use is Ollie's Cotton Gold. And we will use a size 3 hook. This project will consume almost less than 50 grams of yarn. We will start off with a 40 stitches chain. We will work at the beginning with a double crochet stitch. We will skip the first 3 chains. In the 4th stitch we will work a row of double crochet stitches to the end of the chain. As we said, the starting chain was 40 stitches. We skip the first 3 stitches and work double crochet stitches in the 4th one. Now we completed the chain from its beginning and to the last stitch. And we worked the whole row with double crochet stitches. At the very last stitch of the chain we made 1 stitch and we will make another 2. So in total we will have 3 double crochet stitches in the last stitch. And this will be the curved part. So we start working the back side of the chain and continue to the end with double crochet stitches. So here at the curve or the last stitch we worked 3 double crochet stitches. Then we will continue working on the back side to the end of the chain. After we have completed the chain, and we work 3 double crochet stitches at the corner, we will also work 3 double crochet stitches in the last stitch from the back side of the chain. And we will close this round at the first chain stitch. Which we started off the row with. We will begin the second round by working 3 chain stitches. Then until the curve at the beginning we will work the same number of double crochet stitches. Now we reach the curve and we will make the second round. At the first round we worked in last stitch or this curved part 3 double crochet stitches. Here are the 3 stitches we worked in the first round. We will work in the one in the middle. 2 double crochet stitches. So we will make 1 double crochet stitch in each of the first and the last stitches. but the one in the middle we will work 2 stitches. Here is a double crochet stitch in the first stitch and 2 stitches together in the one in the middle. And in the third stitch of the curve we will work 1 double crochet stitch. We will work the round with double crochet stitches until we reach the other curve. And now we reach the end of the second round. So as we did in the 3 double crochet stitches we worked in the end of the previous round. We will work 2 double crochet stitches in the middle stitch, as we did in the curve in the previous round. Work 1 double crochet stitch in the first stitch, and 2 double crochet stitches in the one in the middle, and 1 double crochet stitch in the third stitch, and close the round in the first stitch we made at the beginning of the round. And now the base part of one of the bags is completed. We will repeat exactly the same steps to make another base. Because each part has its own base. So here is the other base and we will join them together. Adjust them together. And start joining them. We will join them from the middle part first and then we will go around this part. Then around the second part and then close them at the middle again. Now let's see. We worked a slip stitch to join them. Then we will make 3 chain stitches to start working double crochet stitches. Insert the hook into each opposite stitches in the 2 bases. So that each double crochet stitch we work will join them both. The next 2 stitches, we join them together with a double crochet stitch. Continue the same way, join all opposite stitches together with a double crochet stitch. Continue this way to the end until we connected them both from the middle. Match both parts together and take a look at the ending part here. We will leave 2 stitches so the 2 bases be separate from each other. So that it's clear that they are 2 bags. Don't stick them both together tightly, There has to be a slight space between them. Let's continue. We joined this part here. We joined both base parts in the middle together with double crochet stitches. Bear in mind that we will always work in this part in the middle with double crochet stitches but without any special pattern. Now we will start working on this side here. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. We worked 4 double crochet stitches in the beginning of this part. Now we will start working the stitch that will form the bag shape. Skip the first stitch. And work a double crochet stitch in the next stitch. And another one. And the third one. We made 1 stitch in each stitch, we skipped 1 stitch. Then we made a double crochet stitch in each stitch. Grab the yarn and go back to the stitch that we skipped. And work a double crochet stitch passing above the 3 double crochet stitches we made. Do the same in the next one. We finish this one here. Skip the next double crochet stitch which we're supposed to get through. And work a double crochet stitch in the one next to it and another one in the next stitch. And a third one in the third stitch. And again grab the yarn and go back to the stitch that we skipped. And work a double crochet stitch and it will also pass above the 3 double crochet stitches we made. And repeat again. Skip the first stitch and in the next 3 stitches we will work 1 double crochet stitch in each. And work the 4th double crochet stitch in the stitch we skipped. Continue the rest of this row to the last 4 stitches in this part. All stitches will be double crochet stitches, so they look the same as the 4 stitches we left at the beginning. So we will work 4 double crochet stitches in each curve of the 2 parts of the bag. Begin with 4 double crochet stitches, then we work the X-shaped stitch. Then in the last 4 stitches in this part we will work 4 double crochet stitches. And when we work in the next part we will also make 4 double crochet stitches. Then we work the X-shaped stitch and then 4 double crochet stitches in the end. Now let's finish this row. Now we completed the last X-shaped stitch. And we will finish off the last part of the row with 4 double crochet stitches. Bear in mind that we now worked in the first part of the bag. We will close it in the chain stitch that was at the beginning, so that we've completed the round in this part. Now let's begin the round in the second part. And we will also close it here so both rounds in both parts are completed together. Let's begin with the second part. The rest of the round for the second part. As we said, we will work 4 sequential double crochet stitches in the beginning. Then we skip 1 stitch and work 3 sequential double crochet stitches. and work the 4th double crochet stitch in the stitch we skipped, exactly as we did in the first half of the round. And continue the same pattern to the end, until we get to the end and work the 4 double crochet stitches we mentioned earlier. Now we completed the last 4 double crochet stitches. The 4 double crochet stitches are so clear for us so we can mark where we will close the round. These are the 4 double crochet stitches we worked at the beginning of the round in the first part. So at the double crochet stitch before them we will close the whole round we made around the 2 parts. We will close with a slip stitch. This way we completed a whole round that circled around the parts. So when we started joining the 2 parts, we started from here, and joined the 2 parts from the middle with a row of double crochet stitches. Then we completed this round here. We started it with 4 double crochet stitches, and ended it with 4 double crochet stitches. And in the middle we worked the X-shaped stitch we learned earlier, and closed the round here. So after we made this round we closed it here with a slip stitch with a row in the middle. Then we started the second part also with 4 double crochet stitches, and worked the X-shaped stitch, and we closed the round with a slip stitch with a row in the middle. So we will follow the same sequence. We will start here, and work 3 chain stitches, and start working double crochet stitches for the middle part here, until we get to its end. Then we circle around this part. So again, we will work the chain stitches here and the double crochet stitches in the middle. Then we circle around, until we close this part. Then we start the second part. Circle around and close here. Then follow the same pattern, start the double crochet stitches row in the middle, and circle around each part and close it with this row. Now we completed 1 row. We will work another 7 rows the same way, working double crochet stitches in the corners, and the X-shaped stitches in the middle which will form the bag shape. Now we completed 8 rounds. And the shape of the bag began to form, with its 2 parts. As we said, we worked all rows in the middle double crochet stitches. But the X-shaped stitches were on the outer sides. Let's continue finishing the last part of the bag. At this point we will separate the 2 bag parts. Each of them will have a separate zipper. We will start working 3 chain stitches. Now if we are going to start with the outer side here, the outer half, then we will work the double crochet stitches row for this half in the opposite loop. So if we're going to work in the front part, so this is the facing loop. And when we work in this part we will work on its facing loop. Now we will begin the outer side. So we will work double crochet stitches in the loop facing to the outer side. Now we reach the middle of the row. We will make another step here. We will make a decreasing, 2 double crochet stitches together. This is the first decreasing and we will work 4 decreasing in this round. This is the first one, then we continue working on the middle part again, with double crochet stitches in the inner loop which faces the part of the bag we're working on. Now we completed middle part in which we are working in one loop of the stitch. The rest of the front part we will work the regular double crochet stitches. So we will work the double crochet stitch in the whole stitch, not in just one loop. And we will make a decreasing in this corner. So now we made 2 decreasing. One in the middle of this inner side here. The second one is here, and then we continue with double crochet stitches. And as we said, we work the double crochet stitch in the stitch itself in the front part. Now we will make the third decreasing. 2 double crochet stitches together in the middle of the front side. The front side of this half. To sum up what we did here, in the very beginning we made a decreasing in the inner side, and another decreasing in the corner with 2 double crochet stitches. And this is the third one, and before we close this row here we will make another decreasing. And here's the last decreasing in this round. 2 double crochet stitches together. And the last double crochet stitch. Then we close at the first starting chain stitch. And start working the next row. We will complete the whole next row in this part. We will close this part and work its own chain stitches. And then we will work on the other part of the bag. We will work the whole next round with double crochet stitches. And we will also make 4 decreasing in it in the same places. Here in the middle and in both sides and in the front middle. So there are 4 decreasing as the previous round. Now we will close the second round. Close it here. So we worked 2 rounds for this part. The first round we worked at its beginning or this middle part. We worked in the loop facing the part we worked on. And we skipped the second loop which we will start this part with. And we worked the second row normally, we didn't work in the inside loop. We worked it in the same stitch. And we made 4 decreasing in each of the 2 rounds we worked. 2.5 and 2 on both sides in each round. And now we will start connecting the yarn again. And work 3 chain stitches. Then we repeat the same pattern we worked in this part. And we will work in the inside loop for this side only. And we'll continue the second row normally and repeat the same pattern in this part. Now we completed both parts. We completed the crochet work. Now we will sew the interior lining and the zipper. We will begin with the zipper. We will explain what we've done here shortly. First we will start with the zipper. Adjust it with the starting part. Try to make this crochet row exactly beneath it. This is where we place it from the outside. And we will start sewing from inside. Adjust it like that. A little bit far from the zipper. So that after we sew it the sewing will be far from the zipper. Allowing a space for the zipper to move freely. So it doesn't get stuck to the yarn. And if we'd like to use a sewing machine, or bring it to someone who has a sewing machine, it will be better. That's if we want to get a clean finishing. Or we can sew it by ourselves like that. We will stop here. Don't continue to the end. We will leave the beginning and the ending parts for now. They will be more adjustable when we sew the other side of the zipper. Open the zipper so we can adjust the other side properly. Adjust it in the front part first. Then we will adjust the inside parts. And both sides. Now we know that it will stop here. Try not to open the zipper more than that when sewing it. Now we sewed the zipper. Now we will sew the interior lining. We have this piece of fabric here, which will be the lining. And cut it. We will measure it. It's 2 parts. Adjust it with the bag size. And we have this extra length here. So when we sew it, first we fold these sides over and sew them. Fold it over like that and sew it. We want it to be a little bit big so it won't be stretched tight inside the bag. So we will sew it after we cut it. Cut it from here and fold it over. And sew its both sides, then sew it in the bag from its upper side with the zipper. Here we have attached the lining for this part. After we sewed its both sides, we will put it in the bag. We use some pins to keep it in place and make it easy for us to sew it properly. Start from the corners. And sew it. Continue sewing the whole lining the same way. And same way for the second part as well. Now the makeup bag is completed. Both parts are completed. And we sewed both zippers. And the lining. One last step left. To make the bag look better, we attached this metal ring, and we'll attach this part in it. So it's like a handle for the bag. This handle is a 40 chain stitches. We skip the first 3 stitches and work the whole chain with double crochet stitches. Fold it over. Then we will sew it and remove these extra yarn. Now we sewed it. And this was the last step in our makeup bag. Now it's completed, thank you.